How do you felt the season's gone overall for you?
Pretty good. Feel like I'm in a decent rhythm right now, so just trying to keep it going one day at a time. Henny and Austin doing a great job. The Lions doing a fantastic job, so just trying to keep it rolling.
How many times have you been here?
This is my third. Played here in the Jets in 15, I think we came. Played at Wembley. And then I came 2 years ago with Tennessee. Actually got to stay here and then played at Tottenham. So decently familiar with the grounds and everything, which is kind of cool.
What's it been like seeing around the league all the long kicks that are getting made by all these kickers, like more than ever before, it seems like?
I think it's good, and I think that's what the league wants. They want points. They want excitement. The long kicks are exciting both ways, makes and misses, because makes obviously points on the board, misses, the other team gets the ball much closer and chance for points there. I think it's good. I mean, these guys have, I think it could have been done a long time ago. I think it's been more defensive-minded, and I think so there's probably some analytics involved now that, any chance for points is a good chance, but I don't know that for sure. So yeah, I just think it's a good thing for the game. I think it'll continue to go that way. Yeah.
How big a change has been the change to the game ball?
I mean, it's my analogy. I think maybe not everyone in here, but most people played baseball. You go to Dick's. Like when I first got in the league, you had 30 minutes to break in 3 balls. So you would kind of like work with your equipment guys, or you didn't, but the equipment guys did. And it was going to be a good day, so I would make ball 1, or the ball we're going to use the most. You work about 20 minutes on it. Ball 2, use about 10, and then ball 3, don't even break in. Just keep it because we won't really get to it. If it's going to be a weather day, rain, whatever, break them all in pretty evenly. Get them as good as you can. So, and then it became an hour. They got an hour in there to do it. And then the last handful of years, it's been they got an hour, but they got to like take the balls into their own locker room and do it. So they weren't just one guy. So it was like a team of guys doing stuff. So, but I equate it. You go to a sporting goods store, Dick's. You grab a baseball glove. You break it in for about an hour, and you're like, oh, I can use this thing in the game. But if you're the shortstop for the Yankees, you ain't going to use that. You want what you feel good with. And so that's what we get to do now. We get to kind of do what we want, just much like the quarterbacks do what they want. I'm sure you all seen, like, their balls are super dark brown, and ours are more pink. So it's just a unique way. You try to break in the leather as much as you can to get it to respond to your foot and get it to kind of bounce off your foot as best you can.
Can you describe if it's an advantage or disadvantage to have so many fans from different supporting different teams? Because like, does it mess with you like mentally that you haven't got your home fans there, or is it like a bit of a relaxation away from your fans?
For me, it's probably. I mean, you get it both ways because if you're on the road, they're cheering. At home, sometimes they're not happy when you're kicking a field goal on 4th down, and that's everywhere. That's not just New York. That's everywhere. Especially, shorter field goals or, short 4th and shorts, whatnot. But for me, I don't necessarily know if it's a good or bad thing, not having, one singular fan there. Offense and defensively, I'm sure they're probably offensively more excited because they get to communicate better. Defensively, I think defense feeds a lot of it on that energy. So I think they'd probably want more Jets fans in there defensively. But for me, just kind of another day. So.
What kind of adjustment has it been with the kickoffs? Now the touchback's 35. It feels like that's even been more incentive not to kick it into the end zone. You obviously have kicked for a long time. What's that adjustment like?
I mean, you see a lot of guys just using their field goal approach or a much shorter approach right now. Later in the season when it gets cool, they'll probably go back to some full approaches to make sure they get the depth on the kick. There's a lot of varying thoughts on it. I think they're still trying to gather as much data. Obviously, hang time is nothing now because everyone leaves when the ball's caught or touched or hit the ground. So hang time is, you don't have to worry about getting the ball in the air as much. Before, hang time was almost as big a factor as hitting it as far as you could, just because it gives your team time to get down there. So yeah, it's just a different mentality. And the other part of that whole situation is you can flirt with the sidelines more because it's just a 5-yard penalty. If you think about it, if you hit touchback 35, you hit out of bounds at the 40. It's a big penalty. It's not, you don't want to, but before it was the 40 and the 20. So that was a much bigger penalty you were dealing with. Now, I think guys are flirting with the sidelines as much as they can. And I think, Brandon Aubrey hit one out of bounds. I don't think he hit it as best he could last week, but he's like, this is almost the same as a touchback. So the rule has done what I think the NFL wanted to do. I think there's, 75% returns at this point, and some of them are, kickers are trying to get it right to the goal line, and I think 2 of my touchbacks have been 6 inches too deep, so it's kind of, you're just playing a little bit. But I think it's done exactly what the NFL's wanted and got returns. And I think you've seen a bunch of big returns. You've seen some consistent returns out to the 30, 35. And I think that's where some of these long field goals are coming in now to play, because the field position has changed from that whole play. Punting has changed from that play, I think. You don't, if you get a touchback at 35 and you got a little bit of breeze in your back, you don't even get a first down, you're hitting almost one of those pooch punts. Some of those guys are so strong. So I think it's changed. The game's changed a little bit. The way you think, the way you manage the game. So I think it's good for what the league wanted to do.
What sort of advice have you given to Austin since coming into the organization?
I just try to watch, and if he asks questions, I'll answer them. I don't try to butt in at all. I try to just help him out when he needs it if he asks for it. Obviously, I wasn't here in the offseason with him, so I didn't kind of get to see how he prepped and all that stuff. I just kind of had to learn on the go. I've been around a lot of punters, so I understand what they looked for. I'm still trying to see what he kind of looked for. Everyone's got their own nuances how they do things. But yeah, so I'm just trying to help where I can. I don't try to butt in or anything like that. If he asks a question, I'll answer as best I can.
Nick, with more and more international games, as a kicker, how much are kickers thinking about the surfaces of the fields abroad or the climates? What comes to mind when you see these games popping up?
I think most guys, probably just like any other game, they're looking at, when you're playing in the U.S., the fields. I've been to just about every stadium now. I know what the fields are, what to expect at every place. So it's probably more on the surface side, I would say. And I think some of these stadiums now are being built with the NFL in mind. Tottenham, obviously. I think when whoever goes to the Bernabeu this year, they did that when they did their redo, when the field's going down with the NFL in mind as well. So although it'll be turf, which will be, as a kicker, if I could play on immaculate grass, I would do that. But you don't get that all the time. So I'd rather have to eliminate one variable. So I guess you could say I prefer to play on turf. I just get to eliminate that variable. It's consistent pretty much everywhere for that day. There are different turfs, but for that day, you know what you're going to get, what you're going to have. So I enjoy the international games, but I don't think everyone does. So.
You played the Jets back when they were in the playoffs last time, and now they've been on a 14-season playoff drought. How do you experience the negative spiral in the New York Jets over the last 15 years?
You take it year by year. I think. I was here for that last championship game season, and you just have to kind of take it year by year. We've had a lot of expectations right after that. You've had them up, and as I've been gone too, they've had expectations here. You just got to keep fighting, keep working. It's all you can do. Take it year by year, game by game, and at some point, it will get back to where the Jets are doing what they need to do, and I think they're on the right track. I think AG's doing a great job of getting us to play the way he wants us to play. So it's going to take time. It's going to take you got to build a foundation before you can build a house. So he's got to build that foundation. It's not going to happen overnight. You look at, if you go back and look at some of the ones that were built overnight, they didn't last for too long. And then the ones that had a good foundation built, they lasted for a long time. So you look at the Steelers and whatnot, they've had a foundation of who they are for a long, long time. And they're consistently, good, whether that's 500 and above or whatever that might be. But so you have to build a foundation. I think AG is doing a great job of building the foundation. the way he sees it, and he's been around the game a long time. I think mid '90s to now, he's been around a lot of organizations, and he's seen it done a lot of different ways. Obviously, Detroit, you saw that success. He's been in New Orleans with Sean Payton and saw how he did it there. He saw kind of how Dallas did a little bit. Crazy enough, I played with AG my rookie year, so he saw that, how they did that. So he's been around, seen a lot, and he's, I'm sure, taken bits and pieces from everything to try to make his foundation the way he wants it, and I think he's doing a great job of it.